Welcome everybody. I wanted to talk about some issues that are just sweeping the healthcare um, community, and I wanted to talk a little bit about what I just went through, going all the way back to a couple of years, but really kind of coming to a head last November, all the way into March, and kind of talk about some ways that we can fix some of this stuff. It was pretty much apparent once I'd gotten to the right path what was really kind of going on with my diet, and the right side of my body was just burning all the time, and it was very much a mix of things, and you just couldn't predict day to day what was going to happen until I found this one remarkable thing that just changed everything for me. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that and talk about kind of what I went through in my process, and this one thing that you can do that will just, for me, changed everything, but I think it would change things for a lot of people. The surgery for gallbladder, which is what they were telling me needed to come out, was $18,000, and I didn't really have $18,000, and I know my insurance wasn't going to pay for that much. They might pay 80% of it, and then they're not going to be happy about it. So there was just a lot of things going on. I was getting some misinformation. So how I knew something was wrong is lots of gas and indigestion in my esophagus, because my gallbladder was not processing my food, so it was kind of coming up. And in 2008 I started having these problems, and I did a gallbladder cleanse, and things stopped for a few years. How, I don't know, but they did stop. I gained quite a bit of weight, and sat there for a while, and then, as I said in my last video, 7 exercises to enhance your 8-hour diet. Went vegetarian for a few years, didn't have as many problems, and that's because this one substance isn't in a vegetarian diet, and it's not the one you think, but we're going to reveal it by the end of this video, which I think could save you $18,000 as well. But just all kinds of cramps and indigestion and gas, and I was definitely sure myself it was a gallbladder. I mean, there just wasn't any other way it could turn. Right underneath my rib cage, it was just on fire every day, and it felt like something was just pushing and pushing, and sometimes it would come over here from underneath the left-hand side, and then it would travel around to the back, like my kidneys were just being boxed. And so of course I went through all the tests, and some of them, my deductible was $600 to go have these certain tests. So that's how I knew something was wrong, was having a lot of problems. Where was I hurting? Mainly for a while it started in the front, but mainly in the back where the kidneys are. I was like, am I passing a kidney stone? What's going on? Because again, I've had kidney stones, and I was just amazed. And mainly it was my right kidney, but it was the left as well. And then it would travel around to the front, and it would just go all day long. I was taking apple cider vinegar and antacids to stop the acid, and they were just telling me, left and right, that it was the gallbladder. Got to have it out. $18,000. When can you schedule the surgery? And this was a physician's assistant. I was trying to get into, to my regular doctor now, but it was a physician's assistant, and she was just very, very big on the scans, and if they found them to be, what they were, it was going to be the gallbladder, and I was going to have it out. It was a day surgery. I mean, they were already walking me through it before anything happened. So I was hurting in the kidneys and the front of the gallbladder. Here's a picture of the gallbladder, and it works well with the liver, but it plays over into the esophagus and the spleen and the stomach, and I just couldn't get to the apple cider vinegar fast enough. And I think that's the wrong way. I mean, I know everybody recommends apple cider vinegar, but I just think that's the wrong way. It's very acidic. I know they say it's great for your body and all this stuff, but for me, it was just wearing like on my teeth and I just felt pretty good after I took it, but it just didn't seem to solve all the issues, and I wanted the issues solved. So the doctors were saying basically you're going to go get this scan, and then we're going to draw some blood, and we're going to see what's going on. Well, when the scan came back, they were still wanting to do more tests on the gallbladder, but they had found it inconclusive, that they couldn't figure out what was going on, and I had basically done the work to try to figure out what was going on. So I was looking at the $18,000, and I had talked to people who had their gallbladder out, and I still just wondered, well, how was my body going to process cholesterol if I got my gallbladder out? I mean, to me, that's just a dead end. You're just asking to have heart issues and different things when your body's not regulating your cholesterol in a correct manner. So I was driving through Harrison, Arkansas, of all places, one day, and one of the ladies at the clinic said, "Have you ever thought about cutting wheat out?" And I said, "Wheat?" She's like, "Yeah, you should do research on wheat and see what you find out." She said, "My husband quit it, and they wanted him to get his gallbladder out, and all his pain just magically started to go away." So I rolled it over for a little while, and I went home. I got maybe some enzymes. I mean, that's the first thing you're going to find is digestive enzymes, which I didn't find did a whole lot for me. You want things that are going to work. You don't want to spend all your money, but you want to spend it in the right directions. I guess that's really the way to go. And so I went home, and then one weekend I just got it in my head, and I said, "Why don't you try to quit wheat?" And so I quit wheat, and I had another breakdown within like 24 hours, and then I just continued to not eat wheat or anything refined. I started lowering my sugar, which I was going to have to do anyway, and then I would have a little bit of pain. Then when I did eat wheat, because it's in everything, I would feel something kind of forcing through either on my kidney side or my gallbladder side, just like my body's trying to process it, but it can't really process it. And what I noticed over time is things have just gotten better and better and better if I just stay away from the bread. And I use Udis as my bread. They're really small. They just act like the stuff is just priceless food real estate. But you can get Udis bread. I put it in a toaster. I keep it in the freezer. Udis taste fantastic, but it's $8 a loaf, But that $8 keeps me out of the emergency room. And I still get a little bit of bread. I don't eat near as much of any kind of wheat or bread products anymore. And now I can have just a little bit, but over time, I've just felt like things are getting better and better. So I finally get into my regular physician, and he said, "Stay off the medication. Why take the..." So I went and, sorry for the interruption, went and got in with my regular physician, and he said, "No." He goes, "I've heard just amazing stories from people quitting eating wheat." And the media is going to put out these stories with testimonials where people say not eating wheat is a myth and all these things. They spray wheat with pesticides before they process it, about 12 days before. And it took me forever to find some of this information. Luckily, Netflix has just released some documentaries, What's Wrong with Wheat, and some different things you can search in their search menu. Watch those videos, update yourself, and you're going to see for yourself. Try it for 7 days. Just go in and quit wheat for 7 days. You're going to feel amazing. Your stomach's going to stop hurting. Your gallbladder's going to stop hurting. Your kidneys are going to stop hurting. You're going to stop having headaches. Your esophagus is going to stop being inflamed. Do that one simple thing. Quit wheat, and you're going to avoid an $18,000 surgery. Stay blessed. Have a great day. Check out some more videos and subscribe and like. Thank you.